Hello everyone, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Noche. In this matchup, we have Josè Medina versus Dusko Todorovic. Looking at their overall records, Medina is 11-5 as a pro, 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Dusko is 12-6 in his overall record, 1-4 in his last 5. But I'm gonna be brutally honest, like living up to the brutal commentary moniker I've had for myself. I don't understand the placement of this fight whatsoever. I think a fight like this would open up the entire card, like open up the prelims. I'm being dead serious. How is this the second to last fight on the prelims? Now, it's not on the main card. Okay, fine. But how is this fight not only one above Zach Reese versus Cedric Dumas, considering Zach Reese beat them both, but how the fuck is this fight above Suarez versus Lemos? Like, I'm sure if you've been following my channel recently, like you see the videos from Noche, I've been pretty adamant of why that fight is below this fight. Why is Lemos versus Suarez below Medina versus Dusko? It makes no sense. I guarantee you they are much better fighters than these two. Like, not only this like low tier middleweights, it's a fight that I guarantee you, not in 2025, past, present, or future, is there a fight that could define the loser gets a pink slip. There's no other fight. And you look at it, Medina has not had a win in the UFC. He didn't even win the Contender Series. In order to get to the UFC, they just signed him on. And Dusko has not won a fight in 2 years. His last win was against Jordan Wright, who is not even in the UFC anymore. It's truly the bottom of the barrel. We have reached it. And I don't try and trash fighters, but what else am I supposed to say? Especially when their placement on the card doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Look at their overall skill sets, right? Medina, he's a good brawler. He has okay power, and he's got a pretty good chin. But if any of his opponents can beat him in any aspect of the game, whether that's striking or grappling, they're gonna win. In his Contender Series fight, Magomed Ghaziasulov out-wrestled him very easily. Zach Reese beat him every aspect of the fight. And Abate Gutier just smashed him with a knee in March. It's like, what do I say? He's not that good. Like, Medina's not UFC level. He's fun, absolutely, and he comes to win. Credit to him, and he's got good heart. And sometimes heart beats skill, absolutely. But it's not been proven for him. I can say that. At the same time, though, it's not like I'm not gonna sing praises. Think Dusko's all that either. I don't think he should be in the UFC anymore with what the run he's been on. One win in 2 years, 3 fights good. He's not looked impressive in any of them. Now, granted, he's fought tough opposition, sure, but it's not like Medina would beat any of them. Like, looking at his last 5, got messed up by Kenny and Jetsuku with a mean elbow in the clinch. Then the win over Wright. Then, alright, granted to him, he blew his knee out against Christian Leroy Duncan. Nothing you can do about that. But then, Asir Madu Malik destroyed him in his debut. And then most recently lost the decision to Zach Reese in May. Now, it was impressive that he didn't get finished by Zach Reese, but at the same time, as I mentioned in the Zach Reese video, that was Zach Reese's first time with a new training camp. And clearly there were some bugs to work out with that. Looking at Dusko's skills, he has some skills that are definitely better than Medina. Overall, he uses his 6'1" height very effectively. He's able to use his reach, especially in the clinch. He's able to kind of smother his opponents, use good knees, good elbows. And when he does get on top, whether in full mount or just in full guard or something like that, he has good ground and pound. I'll say that. He's got good elbows. He's got good hammer fist. That's where most of his finishes lie, is in the ground and pound. Problem is, he doesn't really have any good offensive wrestling to get the fights there. Usually what happens if his opponents fail a takedown or they make a mistake and can't secure position, then he secures top position. And from that point, he just lays on the ground and pound. But, oh my god. Like, picking a winner is somewhat easy. I am picking Dusko Todorovic to win. That part is not difficult. Because at least he has UFC wins and has, as I mentioned, some set skills that are clearly better than Mendia, at least offensively wise. But by God, these odds, really? Dusko is a minus 310. Medina is a plus 250. Note when I say this, I understand these odds. Like I said, Dusko has UFC wins. He's proven to at least be a winner at UFC level. Medina has not. But I don't know. I don't think Dusko Todorovic should be a 3-1 favorite in just about any fight. Still fight at the end of the day. He's chinny, and I don't trust his durability. And Medina, as I said, never say never when it comes to a fight. Can Medina catch him and hurt him? Yes. Yes, he can. Do I think it's going to happen? No. I see Dusko being actually able to wrestle Medina to the ground and control him for vast majorities of this fight. Or just control him in the clinch, smother him against the cage, and start landing a lot of clinch strikes as the fight wears on. The question is there a finish? Well, Josè Medina typically has a really good chin. Now, is that chin shot after Gautier blasted him in the face with a knee? There's a possibility, sure. But I lean that his durability is still intact to a degree, and it is Gautier, who's built like a physical, built like he was born in a lab. The dude's a monster. So, no shame in getting knocked out by that guy. Overall, I think Dusko is the better fighter, plain and simple. If there were a finish, I see him getting ground and pound, keeping his top controlled, sliding in the full mount, and just wailing on with elbows, hammer fist. So overall, forcing the ref to step in via, TKO. That's how I see this fight ending. It's either that or decision. But, if you want to lean toward either one, I completely agree. Parlay, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, if I'm being honest, because I don't fully trust Dusko's chin. I just trust that he's a better fighter. But probably the most brutal I've had been when it comes to a fight analysis. But hey, I'm brutal commentary. That's what I do. I'm just honest about my opinion. But with that being said, and that is it for my predictions for this matchup. If you enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. I'd like to hear your thoughts and overall how you think the fight is, and what are your thoughts on the battle order for this one? If you're in agreement that this fight should open up the card at best, I'd like to hear it. If you disagree, I'd like to hear your opinion. But either way, hey, I'd just like to hear your thoughts overall. Next up, we'll have our feature prelim, Alexander Hernandez versus Diego Ferreira. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.